Hey everyone, and welcome to That Plant Life podcast, where we are encouraging you to stay rooted in wellness. I'm Dr. Nic, along with Rachel Renee, and today we are excited to talk to you about our favorite plants.
Yay!
And I must say, it's our favorite plants for right now, because our favorite plants can change, but we do have like our core types of plants that are our favorite types of plants. But then there's like, you might get a new plant and it's like, oh, I love this one. She's my baby. And you're excited to see her or grow or watch him grow or whatever. And yes, we do say that our plants are girls or boys. So don't judge.
Yes, we do.
But before we dive into all that, I do just want to say thank you so much to everyone that we've had on the show so far and everyone that's lined up to come on the show. We have some exciting guests coming on that we are so thrilled about. And we wanted to just let you know that if you know a plant enthusiast, a garden enthusiast, or a self-care enthusiast that you think should be on That Plant Life podcast that has a powerful story that needs to be heard, please let us know. Reach out to us on all of our social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and we would be happy to connect and see what we can do about getting them on the show. All right. No further ado, let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna do our top three for now. These honorable mentions. All right, I'm gonna go first. Right now, well, this is not a right now. This is like a all the time. This is my favorite plant. I love Monsteras. The reason I love Monsteras is because look, I got Monstera leaves everywhere. Monstera leaf on my water bottle. I love a Monstera. But the reason is because their leaves are so pretty. They're so beautiful. I love that they can get so large and pretty. Um, and when there's like the different varieties of them, I think I have right now 4 or 5 Monstera Delicioso. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but that's the Delicioso. I think I have about 4 of those. And I have a Monstera Albo that I love so much. It's so pretty. It's a boy. His name is Wallace. And all the other, should I tell you all the other Monstera's names? I have Tara, Nadia. So that's 3, and then 4 with Wallace. And I have another Monstera, but it's like a different version. So its leaves don't get that same like big flowery shape. It's a standalania, I think that's called.
Candeliana?
Yes. Her name's Bella. So that's my number one is not really number one, but that's the first one I'm going to talk about is the Monstera. So Rachel, how about you? What is your
You
favorite?
stole my.
What? Well, tell us
We
about it.
we are plant twins, okay? So my absolute favorite are Monsteras as well. And then I have my what I call my support plant, Monse, the Monstera deliciosa, and she was the very first one that I got, and I got her when I was visiting Dr. Nick in Arkansas.
Yes. So, Rachel, please, okay, tell us. I know that's how you know we're plant mom besties because we love the same plants. I mean,
Hmm.
but so you said that Monse is a support plant. So, could you just tell everybody a little bit about what that means to you?
So So people have support animals, they have emotional support animals. Well, she is my emotional support plant. And so I always have her right by my bed. And one day, I don't know how I realized this, but I had a little chair next to her. She was next to the window, and then there was chair. And sometimes I would just sit in that chair and pray, and she was right there in front of the chair. And one day I just started like stroking her leaves as I'm sitting there thinking and praying, and I think I was probably emotional about something. And it just felt so calming to just touch her leaves like that as I was praying, and it just became a thing. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I thought I was a little strange for that. But then I was saying, I think on one of our other shows, that I went to a plant show and the lady had this huge Monstera albo there, which, oh my gosh, that is a dream plant right there, Monstera albo. And she's like, touch the leaves, and they felt like leather. So it's like my baby Monse, but like if she matured and had even thicker leaves, those
Yeah.
leaves felt like leather. I'm like, how's a plant feeling like this?
Yeah. Yeah. It is amazing the different
Yes,
textures of the leaves and also like the different patterns that form because I know I'm completely drawn to the patterns in the leaves.
yes,
I don't know if it's the artist in me. I don't know what it is, but like they look like art. They look like I'm like that's God's art.
yeah.
That's God's art. Those leaves are God's art, and it has like all these gorgeous patterns. And then when you find a type of plant that you love, and then you find out how many different varieties of that plant there are, it's mind blowing.
It is, it is. And so I do, like you, I like the different varieties of Monsteras. Like this is one here. It doesn't even look like a Monstera, but
Hmm.
it's a Monstera supinata, and her name is Olivia. But one thing about the Deliciosas, like growing up, I remember seeing those and feeling like they were just so exotic and like, my God, like feeling like they were probably out of reach. Like there's this, I could never have this plan. It's probably like $1,000. I probably would never be able to take care of it, but they're surprisingly very easy to take care of.
Are they really are.
Yeah, and it's blowing my mind.
And they're gorgeous because they add such like this kind of ambiance to your home that's just I don't know. I mean, all plants do add a type of ambiance to your home,
Hmm.
but there's something about the monstera and like the shape of its leaves and the way that it can grow so they can get massive. It just adds a little it definitely adds a little something to your home. But
Yes,
yeah, I can't wait too for Wallace to get that big. I
yeah,
want him to grow and like
yeah.
touching his leaves. I can't wait for it.
Those leaves are gonna be amazing, Nick. Like they are gonna be crazy. Like I can't wait. So I gotta meet my nephew. I have not met my nephew Wallace
You haven't
in
met
person.
Wallace. Yes. One episode we're gonna have to talk about how we chose some of the names of our plants. We won't do it
Yeah.
today, but on some episode we're gonna have to talk about how these
Yes.
plants got their names because some of them are really interesting and funny stories.
Yes. And I love how we got some of our plants together. Like we got our Monstera dubias together,
Yes.
which are so unique because they love to climb, and they start out as babies on little, we put them on a little wood post and they just go up and up and up, and like
Yeah.
it's just so beautiful. I have so many propagations of those behind me.
I have so many too. I have some that are ready to be put onto the post,
Mm,
but it's kind of like the Monstera dubias. I get nervous about them because that post it needs to be big, and I'm like,
yeah,
where is this post gonna go? So it's
right,
like amazing as you get into a certain type of plant or plants in general, just kind of understanding what that plant needs and what it's going to take for you to put into that plant to have it in your house in the spot that you want it and is that enough space, is it going to look good over there with that post and all the different things, but we love it.
yes. And here's another benefit of being plant mom besties, because I am like, I wasn't even, I'm not this type of a person, but I'm such like a helicopter plant mom. Like I want I want all my plants to be like right in my view. Like, so Dr. Nick got me to like very anxiously put some of my plants outside. So the thing about the dubia is like they love to climb, but they really can't mature unless they have certain conditions. So my Monstera dubia had climbed to my height, but the leaves pretty much stayed the same size. So I
Hmm.
finally, like, just following Dr. Nick's example, put him outside, and his leaves started getting so big. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God. I've been stifling you this whole time. Like, I'm so sorry. You could have been doing so many great things. I wasn't letting you be great. So,
It's a learning
yeah,
process, right? We just learn and grow, just like you do
yeah,
with a regular kid. You
correct.
learn and grow, learn and grow.
Yeah, gotta
I
trust the
mean,
process.
yeah, exactly. Trust the process. Trust the process.
Yeah. So, what is your second favorite, Dr. Nick?
Okay, man, I'm gonna have to go with right now snake plants. I
Mm,
or Sansevieria for those that you want to know the name, the
the
real name.
official name.
But I love a snake plant. Like, I think that they are, especially when they're full grown, mature, and they're very tall and full in the width. I just think they're awesome for interior design. They look so sleek in your home. And they do say that they are the ones they're one of the plants that puts out the most oxygen. So having them in your bedroom is a great idea, for that oxygen levels and helping you sleep. But they just look good. I just love them. I think they're so cool. And the more I get into plants, and the more I learn about them, the more varieties of snake plants that I see. And I'm always shocked. I'm like, wow, there's another kind of snake plant. That's crazy. But I do love them, I think, a lot for the look of them, the aesthetic appeal of them. I just think they're gorgeous.
What is the name of one of your favorite snakies? If you've
My
named them.
snakies, I was just about to say my snakes don't. That's kind of funny because my snakes actually don't have names. I have to think about that. My none of I well, that's not true. One of them was Stanley. Stanley,
Okay.
I forgot. Stanley was one of my very first snake plants. And I almost lost Stanley because Stanley got root rot. And I felt so bad. Like, he was gorgeous, just big, beautiful. And snake plants are on the list where how they put out those lists like this, the plants you can't kill. And snake plants are always on there. Look,
You proved them wrong.
I'm like, I don't know about that because Stanley was on his way out. He was on his way to plant heaven. Okay. So, but yeah, I found out that I was like, why is, because he kept leaning. And with snake plants, you want them to be strong and straight and growing up. And he kept like leaning. And I was like, what the heck is going on? So I had to like dig him out and I saw his roots were rotting. And so I lost, like, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 sections of Stanley. But now I saved. So what I did was I took him out of the dirt and then placed him in a glass vase with just water and put him in the water. And I wanted to try to just bring him back. I had like some nutrients, a little bit of fertilizer in the water. And he came back. I put him back in dirt. It took a while. And then I finally started using worm castings. Once I started using worm castings, now he's looking good. But
That's
I'm
awesome.
glad you mentioned that because I'm gonna go. I need to name the rest of my snake plants because none of my other snake plants have names. They really don't. Just Stanley. Maybe I was traumatized by Stanley almost dying and I didn't name the rest of them. I don't know. But I have like 5 others besides Stanley. So though they are without names.
Hmm.
So I'll have to come
Okay.
back and name them and tell y'all.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. But what about you, Rachel? What's next for you?
Well, snakies are definitely on my list, but I would say my second favorite are pothos.
Okay.
And mostly for sentimental reasons, because that's like the first plant I started out with. So I have like my original pothos. It's like getting really tall. Like I keep staking him up. His name is Raphael.
Okay, Raphael.
So he's been staked up twice now. So he's climbing, and I like having him in the corner because sometimes he'll grab onto the curtain or grow up the corner in the wall. Like it's just so cool to see
Yeah.
how big he's getting and knowing I got him from like a little
Yeah.
baby and now he's like all the way up here. So
Yeah. I
and
think
I go ahead.
No, I'm saying, like, I totally hear you on that because I think that's one of the reasons why snake plants are my favorite too, because that was, like, one of my first plants that
Mm,
I really started getting and getting more of was snake plants at first, so
yeah.
they kinda have, like, soft place in my heart.
Yeah. And Pothos made me feel like, oh, maybe I can actually do this. Because then I started propping them like crazy. So I probably have like 10 Pothos. Like it's ridiculous. Everywhere you look in there, there's a Pothos. But but they made me feel like gave me the confidence to, okay, now let me try a snake plant. Okay, now let me try something else.
Yeah,
So yeah, I they hold a special place in my heart for real. And I think they're so beautiful. They're cute, like the way that they grow and how they reach toward the sun. Like I had one that kept growing across the floor toward the window, and then
yes,
I
I
would
love
start to prune it back, and it just now it's like really full, and I
mhm.
just love it. So it's they're fun. I love watching them grow. Yeah.
Agreed, agreed,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what's your third fave?
Alright, my 3rd fave for now is gonna be a ZZ.
Mm.
I absolutely love ZZs. I think that they are and the funny thing is, I didn't love them at first because I was mad at them because they grew too slow, and I was like, "Why aren't you growing? What are you doing? What is happening?" But I have a ZZ Raven, which is from Rachel, and her name is Ray Ray, and then I have a regular ZZ, and her name is Speedy because she was growing so fast at first when I got her. So I call her Speedy. So Speedy and Ray Ray. And I love them again for the look of them. Like they're just so beautiful. But they're fascinating to me because they go through these dormant periods of just like it looks like absolutely nothing is happening. And I was like, man, this plant just does not like me. It doesn't like the lighting. It doesn't like it, nothing. And then it seems like overnight there were 5 new shoots on Ray Ray. And I was like, Ray Ray hasn't, because you got that plant for me. I don't know if it was a birthday present or if I was just upset about something and you just decided to buy me. I don't remember. But I remember getting this plant in the mail and it was before I moved to Little Rock. So that means I've had Ray Ray for a bit now. And she just wouldn't grow. She just was not growing. And then when I moved to Little Rock, the first place that I lived in Little Rock had that gorgeous, front window. And I had Ray Ray in there, she still was not growing. And I was like, what is up
Oh.
with this? What is up with her? And then I don't know what. Oh, I know what happened. You have a ZZ. And I every time I would come to your house, I would be like, "Oh, why don't my ZZ look like this?" But I noticed that the pot that you had was larger. So I was like,
Mm.
you know what? Ray Ray needs a bigger pot. Now, that's really not the way that you tell that a plant needs a bigger pot. So, really, you don't need to take that advice. But I just was like, yep, this plant, it needs a pot like Rachel's. So, I got Ray Ray a bigger pot and made sure her dirt was really healthy and the best dirt I could possibly give her, a little fertilizer, and then I just put her right back in that gorgeous window that I had, and she just started growing and growing and growing and growing. And now in this is my office that I'm in right now, where it gets lots and lots of light, and Ray Ray is in here and she loves it in here. It's like she's gorgeous. And Speedy too. Speedy needs a new pot now. I feel like I just put her in the pot that she's in, but she's going to need a new pot too because she's growing so fast again, like she was when I first got her. And I think even though they are low, they can tolerate low light. It's when they got into this room with all of this light, it's bright indirect light. They love it and they're really growing. And I just think they're so gorgeous.
I do, yeah, I love them too. I mean, we both have ours
Yeah.
in our little studio here. So
Yeah. I love them so much.
that's so cool. I love how Ray Ray came back.
Yeah.
I mean, and came back amazing because her leaves are so big and beautiful.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Now, my third on my list are the snakies, snake plants. And I always call them snakies. I don't know why, but like, oh, snakies. So, and my absolute favorite one that I have again is the first snake plant that I got. And when I saw him at the store, one of his leaves was like curved almost into a perfect C.
Mm.
So it's like that made him stand out to me, and then I named him Carlito.
Rachel has all the Latin plants. Raphael, Carlito,
Yeah.
Rosita.
And Raphael and Carlito, they used to share the same space. They were right next to each other, so I said they were brothers. So that, but now they're both so big they can't even occupy the same space, so they're separated now. But
They grew up and had to get their own
yeah,
space. Awesome.
so but I absolutely love that snake plant. It's pretty tall now. So I just enjoy seeing it. And when it was having challenges, I was getting sad, like, no. And I had to look at the roots too, and I saw that my soil was too moist. So I added some
Yeah.
orchid bark to aerate the soil a little bit
Yeah.
better. Because I'm like, I can't lose you. That will really, oh my God.
Oh, it's like heartbreak because they're like our babies. And it's so funny because both of us have mentioned that we had to go to the roots and look, which is absolutely an important part of taking care of your plants. But it's also an important part of taking care of yourself, like getting to the roots of issues, the root of heart pain, physical pain, really, just making sure that we understand what's going on with our bodies and with our hearts and our minds and doing those checks, those wellness checks, just like we do with our plants. We do wellness checks with our plants, checking them out,
Right.
making sure they have the right environment, like making sure they have the right soil that's feeding the roots, and like trying to see, well, like I said with Stanley, I needed to take him out. I put him in water for a little while. He couldn't stay there, but he needed that for just a little bit to get himself healthy again, and then I put him back in the dirt. And so it's kind of the same for us. We have to figure out what is going to feed our wellness, what is going to make us as well as we possibly can be in this life so that we can
Yeah.
enjoy life.
Yeah. Sometimes we need a treatment plan.
Yes, yes. We need a wellness treatment plan. Yes, we do.
Yes. Yes.
Self-care plan.
Get that thing back on track. Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely. We need that just like we do for our plants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember with Bella? Bella is my Monstera standalea.
Dandeliana.
Yes, and Ileana. And when I first got Bella, I bought Bella as an unrooted leaf. The leaf was so gorgeous. It was like half white, half green, little specks in it. Absolutely gorgeous. And everyone was like, you can just stick it in water and it'll root. No, it did not root. So what I did was I went to my Plant Friends of Little Rock group. Shout out to y'all because you're amazing. And I said, this is what's going on with my plant. Help me. And all of these ladies in there were like, oh, you need to create a little incubator for it and use the perlite. So I took, the little drainage trays that you put under the pot. So I got two that were the same size, and I put perlite in one, wet the perlite, got rid of the water because perlite keeps the water. And then I just laid Bella on top of the perlite that was wet, put the top on, taped it, put it under light. It took, I want to say 3 months, but she rooted. And now she is a full grown plant. But I had to give her what she needed, right? I had to and I had to reach out for help because I didn't know. I was like, I didn't want to kill it. At the time, that was the most expensive. Like, I paid $12 for one leaf. And to me, that was like,
It's an
what? I'm paying
investment.
$12 for a leaf? Now I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for a leaf, but but at that time, that was the most expensive leaf that I purchased. And I was like, oh, she can't die. She can't die. And now Bella is doing great. So thank you,
Hey.
Life of Little Rock, or Plant Friends of Little Rock. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole thing. Like, we need to do that for ourselves. We need to make sure that we are checking, monitoring our circle. What are we allowing into our space, into our minds, into our bodies at all times? Like create a
Yeah.
regular check in for yourself, whether it's weekly, monthly, quarterly,
Right.
whatever it looks like for you, but just making sure you're doing it.
That's so good. And being patient with the process, whatever that process is. Like I remember I was going through a tough time and I went into therapy thinking I'll just do 3 sessions and I'll be fine. Those 3 sessions turned into 9 months. Okay. But at the end of those 9 months, like I felt so much better. I knew how to handle what that situation that seemed impossible at the beginning of that therapy journey was like, I got it. Like by the end of it, I was solid. I had the tools
Yeah.
that I needed. But it's like in the beginning, it was so excruciatingly painful. I was like, why am I even doing this? This is not going to help. But I stuck with it and I went week after week after week and began to feel like, okay, I'm equipped. I can do this now. I can handle
Yeah.
this now. So like sometimes we got to be patient with that process, with our plants process. Like I remember when you were going through that with Bella, and I was like, this is taking a long time.
Yes. Yes. And I was like, Bella, come on.
And you're like, I can't even see in there because you got to keep the humidity. And so it's like you're not even able to like get in there and be messing with it. Like you got to
I had to
literally
leave it alone.
trust the process and be
Yes.
patient with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I'm almost having like a dramatic response. I'm like, oh man, that was, but it wasn't. But the amazing part about that journey with Bella was that, remember when I called, well, Polo, we do Marco Polo, but remember when I poloed you and was like, Bella has growth. She's growing. I was so excited. It was just
Yeah.
like, and now, I mean, I'll have to put a picture so people can see on the actual video. Is
Yeah.
She's doing great. She's doing great.
Mm.
And I think I might have some pictures from the process that I could show too.
That's
But
so good.
yeah, it was such a process, and I was so, just like, you were saying, like at the end of your therapy journey, you're like, oh, I got this. And I'm like, oh yeah, Bella, she's about to live. So, but it took a minute. It took a minute.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. So let's get into these honorable mentions. We got our top three. So what
Okay.
are some other plants that like they're close? They're close to the top.
All right. So for me, that would be Hoyas. I
Hmm.
love Hoyas. I don't know what it is about them. They just bring me so much joy. I think because they're kind of springy. Like, like
Hmm.
they're like floppy, but they're strong. And there's, again, so many varieties of them. Like, I have one whose name is Joy because I just brings me so much joy. I love them. So I have started a collection of Hoyas. I think I'm looking off to the side because I'm looking at some of them right now, but I think one, two, three, I think I probably have 6 or 7 Hoyas now.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah. So and I just adore them. And I'm going to say one more. Now, this one is a love hate relationship. Okay.
I already know.
You already know. It's these doggone calatheas. Listen, these calatheas, they are so gorgeous. The reason why I love them so much is because they look like artwork to me. The leaves are gorgeous. The patterns are absolutely gorgeous. Sometimes people will call them prayer plants because they kind of close up in the evening and like they're praying. I love that as well. They're just absolutely gorgeous. But these are the most finicky plants that you could. Oh, I'm telling you. I usually don't tell people don't buy this plant, but I'm serious. Don't buy this plant if you don't have any plants. If you do not
Yeah.
have a
Don't
plant
start
right
with that.
now, do not buy a calathea, okay? Because that calathea will have you thinking that you have a black thumb, and you don't.
That's right.
You don't. But calatheas are like that. Like, and I have London. She's beautiful. She's having some issues right now. And I think it's just because it's winter and she's having problems. And then I have Kingston. Kingston is gorgeous, but both of them, I never had problems with them before until this winter. and now they're both starting to exhibit like some stress, or I don't know if it's the temperature, but I'll be working with them the next couple weeks to just kind of keep them alive so that they can make it to the summer. But these are plants that they're on a heating pad. They have their dirt checked all the time. They're on they have little humidifying trays. They have extra light, and they're still giving me trouble. So that's what I'm telling you. Do not buy a calathea just because they're gorgeous, because they are gorgeous. They are such beautiful plants, but it it's a process, it's a journey to own calatheas. So remember the one calathea I had, gorgeous. I was so mad at this plant, and Rachel was visiting me. And I was like, this plant is going in the trash. Okay. And Rachel was like, no, don't throw it away. Just put it up. Just put it. And this is me talking to the plant. You see, your Aunt Rachel saved you because you about to go in the trash right now. You can sit on the porch.
Because the roots looked good. That's the only reason. The roots were looking good. they
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 were
did. But look,
strong.
I was just so tired of fighting with this plant. But listen, I stuck that plant outside. Gorgeous. It grew. I split it into two. Now I have two calatheas. But when I tell you, if I showed you a picture of what those calatheas look like right now, you would be like, "What is going on?" Because they look like they have been fried and burnt to death. Okay, that's what they look like. So but I try with these things because I love it. They're gorgeous
They
plants.
are.
They are so beautiful, but they are not for the faint of heart, okay? So those are my it's Hoyas and Calatheas. Those are my honorable.
Okay, that's solid. Like, and I can relate to everything you're saying. So let's see. I'll say my honorable mention. First is Raven, like the ZZ Raven right behind me. Absolutely love. It's just so beautiful. Like I just love them. And I love when I go to establishments and they have like mature ones. They get
Yeah.
so big and thick and huge. And I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait." So this one, that's Ray. I just named her Raven. That's a very convenient name. But she had gotten very like big and full. And then
Hmm.
I moved and she got mad at me. And I lost a couple of branches, stems.
Yeah.
But now, like you were talking about earlier, how they had like these dormant phases and everything like that. So I was like sad because I'm like, she's lost stems, she's not as full as she used to be, and it seems like there's nothing happening at all. Once again, reaching out for help. Shout out to Pike Nurseries in Johns Creek. I went over there and asked for help, and they're like, well, ZZ's needs room to grow. So you probably need to give her a bigger pot and feed her. And I was never big on fertilizing and stuff like that. I'm just like, I've kind of been a bare minimum plant mom.
Hmm.
I'll give you some good light and some water. So
And
I
it's
did a
okay 'cause
right.
it can be a lot.
Right. But I took that advice, upsized her pot, started feeding her, and she got five new stems all of a sudden. You can see two of them shooting up
Yeah,
there in the
I
back.
do see them.
And
Yep.
I was like, oh my God. It's like out of nowhere. Like one day I woke up, went over, and I was like, and this had been, I kid you not, it had been at least a year since I'd seen any new leaves. And before she used to be going off. So I'm like, is she dying? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So that was exciting. And what's my next? I'm really loving, like, I love the ones that you love too. I'm really wanting to get more and more into philodendron. So I have Dr. Nick here. That's a philodendron that Dr. Nick gave me.
Mhm.
She's so cute. My gosh. I love the vining plants. Like I'm just in love with the how they vine and reach, and I
They are
adore those type of plants.
they are
And I love
beautiful.
Hoyas for that reason too, but I'm not good at them yet. Like sadly I lost two of them, and then I finally replaced them with two more, and they were doing great until I moved.
Yeah, listen, the moving is so hard on plants. It really is because mine are mad. I just recently moved as well, and it's just, and I'm almost tempted to say I'm not going to buy any more plants until I move into my like this is my spot forever. That's not true, that's not gonna happen. So I'll just have to, work with them, but
Yeah.
it can be a challenge because plants, they get kind of settled into what you're giving them as far as light and space and things.
Yeah, and then I would say, Calathea, like I have sat and stared at a Calathea for like
Mm,
forever and just been so like in awe of God because they're so beautiful. Their leaves look like God sat there and painted little designs on, and I'm just
absolutely.
like, wow, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, they really are. They look like artwork,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I didn't mention this one, but that's one of the reasons why I love begonias because
Mm.
there are so many different varieties of begonias. I'm like, there has to be a God.
Yeah.
Because how can you have such a gorgeous, rich colors and it's all one type of plant? Like, and we don't even know the half of, what exists of plant life out there, but it's just amazing and it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. So I love it. Like it's just this journey of being a plant mom. It's just been so fun. And the way I've kind of tackled it is like once I felt confident with certain plants, then I would reward myself by trying a new different plant. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I love that.
yeah. So I just received an alocasia as a gift and I know
Mhm.
you have some of those.
I do.
Yeah, so I'm like, just curious, like, okay, my new friend,
Yeah.
how we gonna work this out?
Look, I'm looking at one right now in the window, and it's like that particular one, it needs so much water. Like it needs,
Mm,
I water it more than I water the other plants because it just, I
okay.
don't know. Yeah. I've noticed that I had to do that with that one. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing your favorites. This has been such a fun conversation.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, so to those of you watching this, like, comment your faves. We want to hear,
Hmm.
and of course, get some new plant shopping ideas.
Yes. Let us know what we need to purchase. Let us know.
Right. So tell us your fave. If you have some time, tell us why it's your fave. That would be cool. And just thank you so much for joining us and joining these conversations with us. We're really loving this plant life journey. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out our links on Instagram. We have merchandise available. And, if you have any questions that you would like us to talk about, any topics you'd like us to talk about on the show, please message us because we love to get your comments and questions and ideas. So, thank you once again for joining myself, Rachel Renee, and Dr. Nick. And just remember to stay rooted in wellness. Until next time.